Hello everyone, this is Arthur back with another NFL video. In this video, I'll be giving my NFL Week 8 predictions, so let's get into it. The two teams on bye week this week are the 4-3 Chargers and the 5-2 Chiefs. As for the Thursday game, it was the Ravens and the Bucks. I did have the Ravens winning, but that game already passed. Now with the Sunday, we have the Broncos and the Jaguars in London. The Jaguars technically the home team, but it is in London, so really no home field advantage. Now, there are rumors that if Denver loses, Hackett could be out of there. I mean, probably that would make sense. I mean, it'd be another bad loss, and they'd be at 2-6. So the record is bad enough for him to get fired earlier. Even though he was doing pretty bad. The record wasn't bad enough. Now I think 2-6 is would be a bad enough record to have a head coach fired, even if it's their first year. Now, their offense does have Russ back, but how much would that really help? Their offense still has not done much with Russ. Their weapons in the receiving game haven't done much either. They haven't been able to score points, get first downs on third down, or do good in the red zone. So, the Jacksonville defense, I think, is solid enough to have a nice game here. I think Jacksonville will win. I see their offense doing some nice things as well, even though Denver's defense should probably keep them in the game. Bears and the Cowboys. I know the Bears had a really good game on Monday night, but I do see the Cowboys winning in this one. The Cowboys just are really good on defense at home here. I do see them slowing down the Bears offense, which had a spark last week, but still overall a bad offense. Now the Bears defense, with Dak being back now, second game being back, I see him getting more accustomed to being back. Obviously, I think that the Dallas offense will definitely do some good things. I see it being a nice win for the Cowboys. Steelers and the Eagles. I just don't see the Steelers, being the team that breaks the Eagles' undefeated streak. So I will have the Eagles winning. The Eagles are too good of a team, I think, for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's offense still needs to get things figured out with Pickett. Well, I guess Pickett still has to get things figured out himself. Obviously they already figured out he's their starter, but he has to get his stuff together. 7 interceptions and I believe 2 games starting, 3 games playing, or whatever it is. George Pickens is a nice rookie, but Claypool might get traded. Apparently the Vikings called about him. Their offense, Najee Harris is having a really bad year. Last year he had a lot of touchdowns, a lot of yards on a bad yards per carry, behind a bad offensive line run blocking. This year, even the yards aren't there, the touchdowns. I'm not sure what's going on there, but the yards per carry definitely are not strong. And he's having a down year, but you could still blame the offensive line, which did not do much to improve on Pittsburgh's end. Panthers and the Falcons. Interestingly enough, it's for the NFC South right here, because even if the Saints win, if the Panthers win, they do have the tiebreaker over them. Now, I do think the Falcons will win. The Panthers season, the only reason it's not over is because their division is completely bad. The Saints are supposed to be a team that could make the playoffs. Now they're 2-5. The Bucks are supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. Now they're 3-5. So yeah, the Panthers still are hanging around here, but I do see the Falcons winning this one. Patriots and the Jets. I am gonna pick the Jets, but it is very, very, very. I do think the Jets are a better team, but it's just picking the Jets to beat the Patriots. Bill Belichick-led team is just. I think I almost put an asterisk on this, game. No offense to the Astros. The Jets are at home, but I mean, they've been dominated by the Patriots. I will have them win, but I mean, of course, it would not surprise me if the Patriots do win. But the Jets overall have a better roster. Their defense should lock down whoever's starting on the Patriots offense at quarterback. For the Patriots offense at quarterback, and the Patriots defense should have a nice game on the Jets offense. I mean, James Robinson will probably play. He's been on the team for about 6 days now. Well, Sunday would make it 6 days. That's, I think, enough time to play. And then, Elijah Moore will be back. Corey Davis is out. Zach Wilson is still bad. He has not improved. The Jets team has improved, but not really there, at quarterback. The Dolphins and the Lions. I do see the Dolphins winning this one. They're just a better team. Their offense with Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. I mean, look at Lions secondary. I mean, I guess Okudah has been having a nice season, but the Lions secondary will just get picked apart all game. And their offense, we've seen 2 sides of it, this season. If they get the side that can score a lot of points, they can make the game a shootout and then potentially win. But if their offense doesn't score 35 points, they're probably going to lose to this Dolphins team. The Raiders and the Saints. Both teams, had pretty bad records, pretty underwhelming seasons for both teams so far. The Saints coming off a Thursday night loss, the Raiders coming off a nice win against the Texans. The Raiders' best thing right now on offense is running the ball after trying to be a passing team to start the year in their first 3 games. The Saints usually have a good run defense, but this season it has been lacking. 4.7 yards to carry allowed. Benjamin went off last week. in their game against the Cardinals. So I mean, if the Raiders just took the same game plan, which obviously they will, running the ball with Jacobs, then they should have a nice game. Devontae and Matt Collins are questionable, but most likely will both play. And no Marshawn Lattimore for the Saints, and even Paulson Adebo is questionable, but they have some nice safeties. So I think that the Raiders could definitely pass the ball in this game. If Lattimore was playing and Adams was playing, as he probably will, I honestly could have seen Adams not having an effective game. But with Lattimore out, if Adams plays, you should have a very good game. If the Raiders are kind of a team right now where they'll mostly run the ball. If they need to pass the ball, they will pass the ball and can probably get it done effectively. The offensive line has been really good. The Saints defense has been underwhelming. Their offense has been doing a lot better though. Jameis is back healthy, but Dalton will be the starter for this game. Kamara's nice. Olave is the offensive rookie of their candidate. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry with injury concerns there. But yeah, I have the Raiders winning. Cardinals versus the Vikings. So I do have the Minnesota Vikings winning. The game will be in Minnesota. I do think that both teams have pretty bad defenses. And for the Cardinals offense, they have been a better running team than I thought. With using guys that's not named James Conner, which I expected. James Conner is not a very good, lead back, just because I think he's more of a power guy, more of a red zone usage guy. But the running game has honestly been all right. Besides that, their offense has been pretty much as expected. Kyler Murray off and on games. Hopkins is back in one game back, had a really nice game. I see him having a very good game against Minnesota. Again, lackluster pass defense. Patrick Peterson playing against the Cardinals, his former team. I believe his second time now. He played, if he was healthy last year when they played him in week two. So I will have the Vikings winning. I do think their offense is just a little bit better. Even though both defenses will probably get shredded. It could be a shootout. Titans versus the Texans. I do remember the Texans upset against the Titans last year. That was pretty hilarious. But I will have the Titans winning this game. They're on a very good streak. One of the best teams in the AFC. Made a really good comeback. I feel like teams did sleep on them. I guess people don't like Tannehill, but he's not really a slinger. That's not what he needs to be. They're a running team with Derrick Henry. He's gotten his season back under his feet. He's been balling. Against the Texans, he's always balling. I believe he's had 3 200-yard games in the last 3 games he's played them. It'll be a running game. The Texans, who just got destroyed by Jacobs, will have no time to rest. They'll get destroyed again on the run, I believe. And their offense, I like what Mills did last week, but I also like the Titans defense in this game. So I have the Titans winning. The Commanders and the Colts. I will now pick the Commanders. A couple weeks ago, if this game would have happened, I would pick the Colts. But now I would pick I will pick the Commanders. It would have been a Carson Wentz revenge game, but he's unhealthy. He's not healthy. Heineke will be the starter again. I don't think he was bad last week, but I don't see him keeping his job. When Wentz is back. Now the Colts offense has been just so bad. This will be Sam Ehlinger's, I believe, first career start. I don't really see there being much of a difference really in how that quarterback play is for them. It's probably worse actually, so there might be a worse differential there. Their pass blocking has been just terrible. Taylor, I'm not sure what's been going on with him. I know he had some injuries. I'm not sure how his season has been going so far. I know he's had some really nasty games. But that's what they're going to need on offense to keep them moving, because besides Michael Pittman, who has had bad quarterback play, and ever-changing quarterbacks in his career, I don't really see the Colts offense doing much in this game. Now the Commanders offense, I don't think it's solid. Brian Robinson Jr. is now the lead back. 2 straight games where he was, but he had a lot of carries, but just not many yards per carry. And then Jim McKissick has been getting very involved. Even Gibson had a good game last week. So I do see the Commanders winning. 49ers versus the Rams. I have to pick the 49ers no matter what happened to their defense last week. I said it the last time they played, which is very recently, week 4, that I do not like that spacing, by the way. In divisional opponents, that's the 3rd time I've said this year so far. This the 3rd game where the divisional opponents are playing each other, pretty soon after they played each other the first time. But anyway, I do have the 49ers winning, just because I will never trust the Rams to beat the 49ers. Well, maybe I'll never, but as of right now, in these span of however many years, the Rams offense, it is on a bye week, so I think they can improve, but they're a team that can't really run the ball, doesn't really run the ball. Allen Robinson has been pretty much ineffective. They're really a one-man show in Cooper Kupp, and he can definitely do good work on double and triple teams, but when he's not there, Stafford just is in a lot of trouble. The offensive line doesn't really help him out, and it's just bad performance after bad performance. I do have the 49ers defense having a bounce back game and stopping them here. McCaffrey will definitely get more of a role with the 49ers now in his 2nd week there. And I think they'll do enough on the Rams defense to win the game. Giants versus Seahawks. Honestly, one of the best games of the week. Maybe it won't pan out as one of the best games of the week, but on the slate, it definitely is a very good game. 2 very good teams. Not both winning their division. The Giants are 6-1, but the Seahawks are winning their division at 4-3. Both have been very, very surprise teams this year. And I do see the Giants winning this one. Should be a very good game. I think the Seahawks offense honestly might be better in this game, but their defense really hasn't been good this year. The Giants, at least you've seen an improvement on offense and defense. Seattle is really just offensively. Defensively, not really. I do see them still getting shredded in this one. By Saquon, at least. I mean, I'm not sure about Daniel Jones, but at least Saquon will have a good game. They traded Kadarius Toney as well, but he didn't really do much for New York in his less than a half years there. Packers and the Bills. The Bills will definitely win this game on Sunday night. Maybe we'll definitely win. If you thought about this game in the offseason, you would say, okay, it's a very good game. I'll probably have the Bills winning, but the way the Packers have been playing, yeah, I'll definitely have the Bills winning. Coming off a bye week at home, I'll definitely have the Bills winning. Yeah, their offense should definitely. I mean, the Packers defense is supposed to be at least a strong suit that can be trusted on their team, but it's getting shredded. The run defense shredded. Just like recent years. By recent years, I mean 2020, 2019. I think it was pretty good last year, but the Bills' defense should definitely make a lot of good plays. Rodgers, good luck to him. I don't think he's gonna have a very good week game, whatever you want to say. He's not gonna have a good day that day. And to see the Bills winning. Now Monday night, Bengals Browns. Unfortunately, the Jamar Chase injury happened. 4 to 6 weeks he'll be out, but they won't place him on IR just in case he can come back sooner. So they will still have him on that active roster. They won't have an extra roster spot, but they would if they put him on IR, but they're not. So anyway, I do have the Bengals winning because I think are a lot better. Their offense is getting back onto their feet. Tyler Boyd, we saw what he can do last week. We already know what he could do, but this season he had his best game this year, dominating. T. Higgins even dominated. Mixon, I'm not sure what's going on there. I haven't really seen any of his statistics, but he's still a very good running back, top 5 in the league last year. Burrow is dominating right now, making his way into the top 5 quarterback conversation. Zach Taylor, a good head coach. The Browns, Stefanski, maybe not as good as a head coach as some people, including me, thought. Kareem Hunt might get traded. We'll see. Chubb is still a beast. I will say that their offense has been passing the ball a little bit better than I thought, but I don't think enough on this Bengals. I don't think it will enough on this Bengals defense to keep them into the game or even give them a chance. So anyway, that was my Week 8 NFL predictions. I'm Martin. Thank you for watching.